Welcome in to the Al Smith Alfa Insurance High School Football Scoreboard Show. Get ready for all the scores and recaps from tonight's games. Let's throw it over to the boys from Northwest Georgia football, Lawrence Morgan and Benton Burge.
All right, welcome into the Al Smith Alfa Insurance High School Football Scoreboard. We are in the quarterfinal rounds, third round of action in the GHSA playoffs. We had a total of 9 teams playing tonight across 6 classifications. As you can see, I've already got who's advanced. We've got 5 teams advanced to the Final Four here tonight, so a little over 50%. Some interesting games. We'll see here. We got a comment right off the rip. Let's see. How about them Carrollton Trojans? Revenge on the number 1 team in the nation. Down 14-0, scored 34 straight. Cam Wood, best running back in the state. Hey, I've seen Cam break away and pulled away pretty good. Also seen another very good running back tonight from Kale, and we'll talk more about him a little bit later. Bo Harris says, how about them Wolves headed back from Jackson County? Not sure who we're playing next week. Yeah, nobody is. Neither is the GHSA. Maybe we'll find something out about that. The only positive thing for Rome is whoever you do play will most likely have played 2 games or have to play 2 games that week. So, it's not extremely fair to Langston Hughes, but it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and jump in. Like I said earlier, we have 5 teams advanced from the Northwest Georgia viewing area. At the top, the aforementioned Carrollton Trojans, they defeat Grayson 34-14. Rome, that we just talked about, wins at Jackson County tonight, 31-17. Cartersville really took it on the chin early to Kale. Kale was explosive early. It was 31-7 before you knew it. Cartersville tried to battle back. Kale, a really explosive team. Got a couple good running backs, 1 stud sophomore running back. Quarterback can also move around, throws the ball well, moves well in the pocket. Kale's going to be tough if they play like that going forward. Putting 48 on Cartersville after Cartersville in the first 2 rounds had given up a total of 0 points. So a big one. 48-21 Kale over Cartersville. Speaking of points, Benedictine 80-32 over Central Carrollton. Central was down big early. They scored their points, attempting to come back. Benedictine, just like a machine, really, in the parts of this game that I watched. In 2A down there, Burke County, in a back-and-forth game, Rockmart was up in this game, a couple scores. Burke County goes ahead. Rockmart comes back and scores to go ahead with, inside a minute. Burke County goes with inside a minute left on the clock after the kickoff return, goes down the field, scores on a long touchdown pass, and defeats Rockmart 41-40. Heard County, back and forth game. Heard was out to the lead early. Fitzgerald comes storming back. Looked like Fitzgerald was going to pull away at one point. Didn't happen. Heard battled back, drove down. Excuse me. Heard kicks the game-winning field goal with 2 seconds left on the clock to advance to the next round. Heard actually wins. I don't think I gave the score. 39-38 over Fitzgerald. Gordon Lee was defeated 17-7 by Worth County. This was a 7-7 game early. Worth kind of grinded it out. Gordon Lee just couldn't get any more offense going. ends up being 17-7. Valiant effort against a very good Worth team. It'll be hard to beat. And the team of the round, though, could possibly be your Pepperell Dragons. Pepperell 34-0 over Raven County. They got out to an early lead, and they just kept it on. They were after Raven's quarterback from early, and Raven just had a hard time slowing Pepperell's offense down. 34-0. Pepperell advances to the Final Four. Speaking of having a hard time slowing them down, Bowden 49-22 over Jenkins. Bowden just impressive. I think I've seen where Prothrow, the big receiver, tight end, whatever he's going to be, broke a touchdown record. Going to be tough to beat Bowden, in my opinion. Apologize. All righty. Bo says Cartersville is going to have to do better in the non-region. Stop scheduling cupcakes. I mean, when you get to the point they're at right now, it's difficult. I did not see Kale having the ability that they did to move the ball like they did. Man, the running back he had a little blocking. He'd get to the next level and he was gone. And it was tough. And even the announcers were like, Kale had basically done everything they had to do to win that game. And they played almost a perfect game. And, that's what you got to do to beat a good team. All right. We'll do some peeking. Wait on some more comments here. We'll do some peeking into next week. And, Benedictine, an 80 bomb. Yeah, against any playoff team, I agree. And against that team, which really hadn't been giving up a whole lot of points, been scoring a lot of points. I did not see Kel in the 707, but I had seen them earlier in the year, and they were not that impressive. I mean, they were impressive, don't get me wrong. Not what they did tonight. I did not see that coming. I was just about to mention, start mentioning who the teams will line up against next week, Jason. Rome currently does not know who they will play. If you've heard anything about the issues with the fight last week between Gainesville and another school, Gainesville had 30-plus players suspended. I believe the high school at Gainesville went to the court trying to get these players the ability to play, and then the GHSA comes back and says the game's postponed until that's figured out. So Langston Hughes in Gainesville has not been played, but I will tell you this, when it is played, if Langston Hughes wins, Rome will travel to Langston Hughes, and if Gainesville wins, Gainesville will travel to Rome. So there's your options. But either way, it looks like one of those teams are going to play 2 games next week. So that would probably be advantage Rome. Cam Wood tonight, 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards offense. Big ones. So I'll pull this back up so I got something to work with here. But starting at the top, Carrollton, 34-14 tonight over Grayson. They will be at home next week versus a pretty good North Gwinnett team. Let's face it, anybody who makes it to the Final Four has ability. 5A down there, Rome, like I just said, will either be at Langston Hughes or at home versus Gainesville, depending on who. Depending on what happens there. Kale with the 48-21 win over Cartersville. Benedictine 80-32 over Central. Burke County 41-40 over Rockmart. Heard County 39-38 over Fitzgerald. Heard will be at home again next week versus Toombs County. Very good Toombs County team. Pepperell Worth County 17-7 over Gordon Lee. Pepperell 34-0 over Rayburn. Pepperell will be at Worth. I'm almost certain, if I looked at that properly. Yes, the team Worth County, who defeated Gordon Lee tonight 17-7, will host Pepperell next week. Pepperell will be on the road. And by virtue of coin flip, Bowden will be on the road at Clinch County next week. Charles, I see you on here with the Go Braves. Man, that was a game right there. I watched the end of that one. Watched them go down, kick the field goal, get the win. Huge win for Heard County, and they get to host a Final Four game against Toombs. Be a very interesting game. Are we talking about today's score? Today's score. You're talking about in the regular season. I don't know, but I can find out pretty quick. With a few clicks. I don't remember that game necessarily. They did not play. Pepperell and Gordon Lee did not play in the regular season this year. We got a shout out for Jefferson Dragons. Jake Keller says, when did GHSA become the NCAA? Got courts now trying to overturn GSA rulings. Well, look, I'm not associated with either one of the programs that were involved. I don't do anything with the GHSA besides mostly complain about them, honestly. But anyway, there's some good and some bad. When you go out onto the field and get into a fight, I don't care if you're defending somebody or whatever, there's going to be punishment. And, I see a lot of people say, let the kids play, let the kids play. On one hand, I understand that because they may not ever get back to that level again. But on the other hand, that's not how life works, in my opinion. Now, that may not be the opinion of everybody on Northwest Georgia football or in the Northwest Georgia area. In my opinion, and this is my personal opinion, and I'll say this and shut up about it. When you go out on the field and you entertain a fight like that and you're in part of it and they look on the cameras and they see you out there in part of it, then you're suspended for the next game. Point period. If it's 30 of you and you don't have enough to field a team, you play with what you got or you forfeit. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's pretty cut and dry to me. Hats off to the Hurricanes. Yeah. Big time game. They're toward the middle of the game, third quarter. I thought, Fitzgerald might have an opportunity to pull away a little bit, but it never happened. Thomas County Central with 42 unanswered. That has not shocked me one bit. They're going to bust that championship series wide open. I'm almost certain. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Bo. You can't leave the sideline, and you can't do everything is recorded these days. You might would have got away with a lot more, but now everything is recorded. So, there's a robot recording anything out there. Good seasons for Cartersville and Central, but yeah. Well, one would think, and It's going to be interesting to see how Creekside does against, if that Kell team plays that game, I'd like to see that game. That would be a very interesting. They play a game like they did tonight. Be a very interesting game. All right, let's take a look at the brackets overall since we're down to 4 teams in each region or division, excuse me. And we'll look at the matchups, everything that we have, obviously. He's asking, so Rome will basically have a bye week? No. To my understanding, Rome will still be scheduled to play the winner of that game next Friday. And that game will either be played early in the week or during the week, or it won't be. And the other team will advance, I would imagine. But we got some comments that I won't post, but I will say that Bo Harris is fired up about Rome. And he said that they're on the TCC Rome Revenge Tour incoming. So, very interesting. All right. Let's jump into the private standings right quick. Fellowship Christian is the number 1 overall seed in the private division. They'll host Calvary Day School on the left side of the bracket. GAC, which is the 6th seed, will advance tonight over Athens Academy 49-14, and they will go to the 2 seed Hebron Christian. So Fellowship Christian at Calvary Day and GAC at Hebron Christian and the private bracket. 6A, Carrollton will host North Gwinnett. And it looks like on the other side, Valdosta will host Buford. So big names in those big classifications. Just as a side note, I know this is a high school football show, but Texas Longhorns have defeated Texas A&M 27-17. So currently, it'll be Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship game, unless Auburn can pull the upset, and it will be Georgia and Ole Miss. So Georgia's punched their ticket because of the A&M win or loss, excuse me. In 5A, Thomas County Central will host Roswell. And then, depending on who wins, the Langston Hughes Gainesville game, Langston Hughes would host Rome in the next round, but Gainesville would be at Rome. So it depends on who wins that game whenever that's figured out. 4A, it looks like Creekside will host Kell. And Benedictine will host Marist. 3A, Jefferson, number 1 overall seed, will host West Lawrence. And the number 3 overall seed, Sandy Creek, will host the 15 seed LaGrange Grangers. 2A, Sumter County, the number 9 seed, will they'll be at home against Hattville, the number 12 seed. So we got the 9 and the 12 seed coming out of the left side of the bracket. Excuse me again. On the right side, the number 3 seed, Carver Columbus, will face off against the number 10 seed, Burke County Bears, who defeated Rockmart tonight 41-40. And Division 1, Single A, Heard County will host Toombs County, and Pepperell will be at Worth County. Pepperell is a number 10 seed at a number 3 seed Worth, and Toombs County is the number 4 seed at the number 1 seed Heard County. Single A Division 2, Bowden will be on the road. They are on the road at Clinch County, and Lincoln County, I believe, will be on the road at Early County. That is correct. See if we got any more messages here. Yeah. Bo Harris says Thomas County Central has put Rome out back-to-back years, and now they're on it. And Brian Gibson says Rome better worry about Langston before thinking about TCC. Yeah, I think figure out who's coming to you, or if you're going there, and then win that game, and then worry about. Jake Keller says Langston Hughes is going to win it all. All the fight for Gainesville is for nothing. Rome needs to prep to go to Langston Hughes. I tend to agree with you because I think that they're going to uphold the suspensions. It doesn't matter. From what I understand, Langston Hughes is probably a better team even without the suspensions. So, yeah, I would definitely prep for a trip to Langston Hughes. All right, one more trip through the scores, and I'm going to jump off here. Like I said, we had 9 teams advance to the third round, and 5 teams advanced to the Final Four. 5 local teams, that is. Carrollton defeated Grayson 34-13. Rome was over Jackson County 31-17. Cale over Carsville 48-21. Benedictine over Central 80-32. Burke County defeats Rockmart 41-40. Heard County over Fitzgerald 39-38. Worth County over Gordon Lee 17-7. Pepperell over Rabun County 34-0. And Bowden defeats Jenkins County 49-22. All righty. Like I said, Carrollton will be at home against North Gwinnett next week. Rome still has a situation where they don't know if they'll be at Langston Hughes or versus Gainesville. We'll figure that out. We'll talk more about it during the week. Hurd will be hosting Toombs County next week. Pepperell will be at Worth. And Bowden will be at Clinch County. So get out and support one of your Northwest Georgia football teams. We have 5 remaining, hopefully to see them all in the championship game. We'll talk about those games next week.
We here at Northwest Georgia Football would like to thank you for watching. Please join us again soon.